am Kesley Tweed. I am the coach for empaths, an astrologer, and a Reiki master, and I want to welcome you here once again to the abundant empath community. And this is truly a growing community. I saw yesterday that we truly have empaths from all over the world who are connecting here. And so I just want to say welcome. It's been so fun to get to know you. Pop in, say hello. If you have questions or things that you want to share, feel free to post in the group, because that is what this is all about. My mission as the coach for empaths is to help you really awaken that goddess energy, that magic, that empath power that lives inside you. It's to help you take those deep emotions that you feel and learn how to transmute them into action in your life. And all of that leads to a life of abundance, your dream life, relationships that fill your cup, a purpose that lights your soul on fire. That is what I am here for. And for those of you who are here for that, welcome once again. And I'm really grateful to have this space and so many amazing women joining us here. So today our topic of conversation is one of the most common questions that I get from empaths. One of the most common challenges, I work with clients on this quite often, and that is, how do I protect my energy? And I'm sure many of you, I can think of points in my life. In fact, one most recently was really a turning point in my life where the energy, the emotions, the expectations of others just took my energy from where it naturally is. I'm naturally, and most empaths are, positive, vibrant, purposeful, alive sort of people. It took that energy and it was just like wah wah wah, right? For a while I was in a marriage where the person that I was with was going through a depression. That was really challenging for me. That's one big moment that I could think about that I wish I had the skills and tools that I do now. And then recently in my life, I was actually in a work environment that was very challenging. And there was a particular person in my work environment who was very high anxiety. And this was a person in a place of power, in a position that was over me, that I reported to. And that was very challenging. And that for me was the turning point in my life. And that for me was a time period where I was able to take all the lessons from the journeys around the world, the personal growth, the investing in therapy and coaching and Reiki and training and all those things, and really sit down and start to self-reflect and say, okay, what is it that I need to do differently? And that is what I'm going to share with you today. The number one secret that you need if you want to stop taking on other people's energy. One of the big things I hear is this feeling of responsibility, right? It's like if other people are feeling anxious or sad or down, as empaths, until we've been trained, we naturally feel that in order to have that empathy, in order to have that connection, that bond, that relationship, that we've got to go there with them. And that is not at all the truth. That is not at all the truth. And sometimes as empaths, we feel out of control. We feel, because our hearts are so big and our energy is so open, we feel like we just kind of get sucked in like a tidal wave into what other people are thinking and feeling in their energy. Or we feel like, well, I should be giving more, I should be doing more, I should, and we start to should on ourselves. And what do we do when we get into those patterns, right? There are gifts that are associated with you being an empath, and we're going to take a day and we're just going to spend talking about those gifts, because I really want to bring those to the surface. But today I want to nip this one. I want to help you guys create a breakthrough in your lives with this, right? The nugget that I want to leave you with today is, do not underestimate your power to choose. You are powerful. And sometimes because we have soft hearts, and because we're the givers and we're the listeners and we're often the shoulder that people cry on, or the person that people open up to, we sort of start to underestimate that power. You are incredibly powerful, and you have the power to choose. And let me tell you a little bit more about what I mean by that, right? You have the power in those moments where you start to feel that, oh, that heaviness of that responsibility, that guilt, that person's sadness, you have the power to stop and ask yourself, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? Start to ask yourself that question more frequently, and your life will change. I started to ask myself that question every day before I'd go to work. I'd sit in my meditation space and I'd be looking forward to the day, looking ahead at the day, not necessarily forward all the time, looking ahead at the day and thinking to myself, like, oh, I'm already anxious. I've got all of these things. We've got these deadlines. We've got these expectations from our executives, all these changes and all these things. And it started to feel heavy. And I started to feel like even looking at the responsibility that other people had weighing on them and people with families and different things. And the empath in me just felt this sense of responsibility and heaviness and despair. And like there was no hope and no way out. And I tell you that because I was able to, through asking myself, how do I want to feel? I was able to shift into a space of gratitude, of connection, of creativity, of innovation. One of the things that I really rooted into during that time was love. And I know we don't oftentimes think about love as my number one value. And that if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say my number one value, I can say that with so much clarity because that's some of the work that we do inside the Abundant Empath program that I've built. And all the empaths that I work with, that's what they do too, right? And I wanted to bring that value, that vibration, that like cornerstone and core energy of who I am into that work environment. And I recognized not only when I went into the day did I have a moment to choose how I wanted to show up in that day and set my vibration for the day, but every single time something would trigger me, and there's actually a 3-step process that I teach around this inside the program. There's every single time that something triggered me, I had the opportunity in those moments to stop and to choose, how do I want to feel? I feel myself. I'm getting sucked into this anxiety. How do I want to feel? I'm getting sucked into this responsibility for something that's not mine. I'm getting sucked into how this person is feeling. They're depressed or they're down today. How do I want to feel? Because I'll tell you this, by going down to the emotion that other people are feeling, we don't serve anyone. We don't serve anyone. When you take 2 people who are anxious and you start to amplify that, or 2 people who are depressed, or amplify that and multiply that, or 3 people or 4 people or 5 people or a whole team of people that are feeling hopeless, that doesn't help. But if you have that one person, being you, that steps back and chooses to protect your energy by asking yourself, how do I want to feel? That can change the entire vibration of a relationship, of a family, of a room, of people, of a business, of your financial situation. Because what's at the core of that? What's at the core of that? This is maybe not the most popular word, but it's the truth. Accountability. Anything in our lives that we take accountability for, we have the power to change. We have the power to change. So as empaths, right, we think of ourselves as sponges. We think of ourselves sometimes as enablers, or we think of ourselves as like taking on other people's energy and emotions. And we just think about like, well, I'm just here a sponge. I'm taking it on. It's not my energy. When it's in your space, I'll tell you this. If you're able to just say like, okay, if it comes in my space, even if it's not originally my emotion or my energy, if it comes into my space, I'm going to take accountability for it. Because when I take accountability and responsibility, not to changing it for the person, but to changing it within yourself, when you're like, all right, I own this, I'm feeling this, and I have the power to choose. I am feeling right now in this moment anxious, responsible, hopeless, whatever it is, and I choose love. I choose peace. I choose connection or creativity. Whatever it is that you choose instead, and there are high vibrations there are high vibration emotions and there are low vibration emotions. It's another thing that we talk about inside the Abundant Empath program. And that's what you would learn about, is how to choose, how to root into, how to embody those high vibration emotions so that you're not just a sponge. You're a creator of energy. You're a manifester of energy. The other thing we talk a lot in this group about manifesting, creating abundance, You have to feel inside of you in alignment with whatever it is that you're manifesting before you can attract and manifest it. So, what do I mean by that? If you believe that when you have more money, love, purpose, whatever it is in your life, and you're like, we'll all feel happy when, that was a big thing I used to say, well, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when I get this or that or whatever it is. If you're waiting for the thing to come into your life physically for you to change internally, it doesn't work that way. You have to create the feeling now of what it is that you'll feel when you get it. So if you, let's say you're attracting a partner and you're like, when I have this partner, I'm gonna be so happy and so in love and I'm gonna feel so secure. Create those things in yourself now. Again, the power to choose. I choose each day to feel those things now. That puts you on the vibration to create and attract those things in your life. Super powerful, super powerful. So my dear, beautiful empath queen, goddess sister, you are so very powerful. Do not underestimate yourself. You are not a sponge. You are a creator. You're a manifester. You are an empath goddess, and you are here to do something incredibly special in this world. You are meant to live in abundance. You have that big heart that's filled with love and this desire to give, and that gift of empathy to use in a very big way. So no more disempowering yourself as thinking of yourself as a sponge. You shift the room. You create the energy. And if you do start to feel yourself taking on something, how do you protect your energy? You choose. How do I want to feel? How do I choose to feel? In every day, in every single moment. All right, let me know what you thought of this video. If you guys have questions or things you want to hear about in this group, let me know. I am so excited. I've had an amazing response. You all applying for the Abundant Empath Activation Sessions, the one-on-one free sessions with me. And I am like just excited to meet and help all of you. So this is for those women who are like ready, who are ready to invest in themselves, to take the next step, to truly go after and be like, no more of this disempowered empath, no more of this being a sponge. I'm ready to step into the driver's seat and take the wheel in my life. And if you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm not really sure where to go, I've always kind of put everybody else first, I help you through that process as your coach. We work through that together. We set goals. We help you break through. We help you rewrite the internal scripts. We help you learn how to transform your energy, transmute your emotions into action, how to actually become a creator. So if you're ready for that, and you're ready to sit down with me, like I said, there's an application process. The link is in my bio. And essentially, I'm just looking to see if you're ready. I'm just looking to see if you're truly in. And those are the people that are like, yes, call in, come on in, let's do this, let's transform your life. Let's turn you into an abundant empath goddess who's creating every single thing that you desire in your life, because that is what you are capable of. Okay, so go ahead. The link is below to sign up for one of those abundant empath activation sessions. I'll look forward to seeing and meeting with you, and you all are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you again very soon. Take care, my dear empaths.